I've had the enormous privilege of living my life at the intersection of theology and justice. I've long been interested in religious questions such as what is our place in the universe? Why is there evil in the world? How should we feel, think about death? What should our values be? How should we live? But I've always been interested in doing more than just talking about these things. I've wanted to match hands and heart, to be engaged with these questions viscerally and emotionally. And my years as executive director of Amnesty International USA gave me the opportunity to do that in the most direct fashion. During those years, I met remarkable people of all stripes, victims of human rights crimes, people who had been tortured or subject to unjust imprisonment. I also met lots of human rights heroes and heroines, including Wei Jingsheng, the so-called father of Chinese democracy. And I met many perpetrators of human rights crimes. I've unfortunately shaken hands with many people who have blood on their hands. Being immersed in that kind of human rights work, however, rarely gives you an opportunity to reflect on the larger questions that are entailed in that kind of work. If I stop working, we human rights activists sometimes think, if I ever stop working, somebody's life may be put in greater jeopardy, in greater danger. I spent a lot of time at Amnesty trying to reassure people that unless we sustained a kind of resilience in our own life, we could rarely be of help to anybody else. And for me, a major part of maintaining that resilience was reminding myself of my religious roots, of the larger theological meaning of what I was doing. And this little book, What Torture Taught Me, Reflections on Theology and Justice, is my attempt to capture some of all of that. Nothing brought home to me more dramatically the importance of religious, spiritual, theological grounding and convictions than when I was asked the question that I was most frequently asked during my years at Amnesty, which was, you hear every day of horrendous stories of how people brutalize one another through torture and disappearances, kidnapping, executions. How can you retain any hope at all in the human spirit, in the human future? And part of the answer is that our common fragility requires us to join hands across artificial barriers in order to be more effective agents of change than we could possibly be otherwise. And I've seen that happen over and over again. Of course, we progressive people have to be smart about how we do that too, how we make change. Too often we adopt ideological blinders that repel others who might otherwise be sympathetic to our cause if we displayed a bit more humility. But at the end of the day, history is on our side. Progress is not inevitable, but it is likely. The triumph of human rights is not guaranteed, but the odds are in our favor. And organizations like the one I work for now, the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, make that truer than ever.